All right, what are some things about your dad that you'd like to tell us today?
My daddy tells us about Jesus because he tries to make us feel good, and he's very wonderful, and I love him very much.
All right, what are some things about your dad you'd like to tell us today?
He's awesome. He's a big Buckeyes fan. He taught me all the capitals of the 50 states when I didn't really know a single one. And he teaches me about sports, and I love him.
Good. Go Bucks.
Yep.
Yep. All right, buddy, what are some things about your dad you'd like to tell us today?
He is handsome and is also so strong. And
It's all right. You want me to cover it? Okay. There you go. How's that? Okay. Anything else? Okay. What are some things about your daddy you want to tell us today? Do you love your dad?
yeah,
How much?
that's I just love him.
Do you love him a lot?
Yes.
Why don't you show me how much you love him? This much. Do you love him that much? What are some things about your dad you'd like to tell us today?
Well, he teaches me sports and I like that, and I love him. He's epic and he's amazing.
Do you love him?
Yeah.
A lot? That much? Cool. All right. Do you have a story or something about your dad you'd like to tell us?
There's a lot of things, but one thing that I really like about him is that he pushes me to do harder in anything that I do, especially sports. There's two of us, so it's hard to deal with both of us sometimes, but he's still calm about it, and we get through everything as a family, and he's just always there for me. And one thing I like is that he works with the sheriff's department, so he's not just my hero, but he's everybody's hero.
Well, why don't you tell us how much your dad means to you and certain things about your dad that makes him special to you?
He means a lot to me, and what was the other question?
Like some special things about him that makes him special to you.
He listens to me, and he's always there for me, and he's the only one that understands me.
Okay. What are some things about your dad you'd like to tell us today?
That he's funny. And
He's funny. Yes, he is funny. Rick, you are very funny. I love you, Rick. Anything else?
he builds stuff.
Yes, he does build stuff. Rick, I love the way you build stuff.
I thought this was my interview.
Oh yeah, sorry. Is there like a specific story you remember of just like the two of you that was like memorable for you and that you
When I first met him,
yeah.
because like he went to shake my hand, I didn't know who he was. It was weird.
But it was memorable. Yeah. What are some things about your dad you'd like to tell us today?
I love my dad. He's one of my best friends. I love spending time with him. We always get to do stuff together, and I just love being around my dad and loving to do stuff with him. He's a good guy.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about your dad?
He's an awesome guy. Like he's really active in the church, which I think is good for me in the long run because, I mean, being a Christian is like the most important thing you can be, and he's just awesome. He's probably the best dad that I could have asked for.
The best dad you've ever had?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool, man. If you had one last thing you could say to your dad, what would you tell him?
I would tell him that he's always been really nice and kind. He's always been there to support me with whatever I do, and that I love him very, 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 very much.
I love my daddy. He's cool. He fixes my toys.
Do you love him? How much?
He always says, I love him 100 times as much.
All right. Can you tell us how special your dad is to you?
Because he's very, very nice, and I just really like him.
What's one thing about your dad you'd like to tell us today?
That he fixes things for us, like when that rope swing broke out in my backyard, he just put a new rope on it.
All right. If you had one last thing to tell to your dad, to say to your dad, what would it be?
I would say thank you, Dad, for doing everything that you've done for me, and it really means a lot.
What is one thing you'd like to tell your dad today on Father's Day?
I love him, and he's the most thing that ever happened to me. He's my best dad in the whole wide world.